Hello YouTube, my name is Nero, and today we have some Call of Duty Black Ops 2 in this week's episode of Dear Nero, which of course is the weekly series here on my channel where subscribers send me in fan mail and or fan questions, and I do my best to go ahead and answer them. As I look at my PC right now, it is 6:19 p.m. Eastern Time. I overslept like crazy today, man, but Dear Nero, of course, as you guys can see, is still going up tonight. Man, so last night we beat Borderlands, a pre-sequel. We stayed up pretty late to be able to record that, and then after that, we went and took on the secret boss and farmed him for quite a long time so I could get some legendaries and stuff, and then after that, I started editing together some videos and rendering those out and uploading them to my Let's Play channel and stuff, and before I knew it, I'm like, oh, would you look at that? It's like 10 a.m. And so I went to sleep, and now I just woke up now. I woke up at about 6 p.m. or so, so I'm going to be awful sleepy, but Dear Nero must continue, so we're going to hop right into the questions here with the first one, which is actually related to the gameplay, Black Ops 2. He writes, Dear Nero, in Black Ops 2, have you already gotten Prestige Master? Max from Maryland. So Max, I actually got Prestige Master originally in Black Ops 2 back in like December of 2 years ago. Like I had the game like less than 2 months and I was able to hit Prestige Master. It actually didn't take, in all honesty, it didn't take really that much time. It took me like just over like 5.5 days worth of playtime, I would say, to be able to hit Prestige Master in Black Ops 2. It's just one of those games where the rank up system is actually very quick and you could progress through the level ups a lot faster than you could other games. Like Modern Warfare 2 comes to mind, Call of Duty Ghosts comes to mind as well, where the level up takes a very, very long time. Like it's super freaking long time to be able to level up in those games. Whereas in Black Ops 2, it's like, this is so easy. It takes no time at all to level up. So, yeah, I got the Prestige Master. I stayed Prestige Master for quite a long time. And then after a few months, so I got kind of bored of being maximum rank and really not working towards anything, so I actually reset my stats and I started re-leveling up. And as it sits right now, now even Black Ops 2 has been, outdated for a year, I've been slowly progressing back through again. Right now, I forget the exact level, but if I had to guess, I'm 10th Prestige, level 30 something, somewhere in there. Like I'm actually getting close to re-entering Prestige Master in Black Ops 2. So hopefully I can actually make it to Prestige Master again before Ghost drops. I'm not sure if I'll be able to though. It requires playing time, and with Borderlands out and with all the other games I like to play and whatnot, I'm not sure if I'll be able to just put in the sheer amount of time it takes to level up, even though it doesn't take that long in Black Ops 2. So I might be able to hit Prestige Master again before Advanced Warfare drops. If I do, then I will, of course, make videos of that. So we'll see about that. But yeah, I still play Black Ops 2, and yeah, I got Prestige Master once before. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, I can see you're not happy with the changes Sledgehammer Games made in regards to Dead Silence ruining certain game modes, but how do you feel about the non-exo playlist not having any form of Dead Silence since exo abilities cannot be used in that playlist? Malcolm from Maryland. So Malcolm, this is something I completely neglected. I didn't even think about this when I made my video talking about Dead Silence being replaced in Advanced Warfare by Exomute. I did not even talk about it in there, but this is true. This is true. This is something I didn't even think about. And you guys don't know that if there's going to be a traditional playlist in Advanced Warfare where basically it's going to have Team Deathmatch, Domination, Capture Flag, and they said some other game modes, but I won't get into all the game modes that will be in this playlist. But it's going to be a traditional playlist where there are no exosuits. There is no, boost jumping and boost dashing. There is no exo abilities. There's no exosuits in general. It's just like any normal Call of Duty game, right? And you can just run around and just play a normal game of Call of Duty like you always will without all the increased movement mechanics for people that don't really like the new movement mechanics that we're going to see in Advanced Warfare. That seems pretty nice if they're going to have something like that. It definitely seems pretty nice. But the fact that there's no exomute, because exomute is an exo ability, and if there's no exosuits in this entire playlist, that means there's going to be no Dead Silence in this entire playlist. How's that supposed to work? How's that going to be balanced? Do you know for a fact that just by watching early gameplay and stuff and just listening to people's raw uncut gameplay, that footsteps are very loud. You can hear people coming a mile away in that game, and there's going to be no Dead Silence. Those people are completely screwed. Those games, the people who play those are going to be completely dominated by people who own headsets. There's going to be absolutely no counter whatsoever to somebody that is just like standing in the window waiting for you to come by. They're going to be able to hear you coming. They're going to be able to hear you coming all the time. And once again, if you want to be successful, it's become one of those things where you're going to have to crouch around a lot more than you probably want to. And that's going to ruin the game for a lot of people. So, I mean, I'm telling you guys, Dead Silence needs to make a comeback, or they need to make the footsteps like Black Ops 2, where you don't even need Dead Silence because everyone is so quiet by default. So, I don't know, man. I'm telling you, Exomute is an awful idea. Terrible idea, and they just don't realize it. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, I know you like shotguns, so what is your least favorite shotgun in Call of Duty history? Mine is the M1014 from Call of Duty 4. It was just so inconsistent. Geo from New Jersey. So Geo, M1014 in COD 4 definitely was a big pain in the ass, right? But dude, the W1200 even, like that was even the worst shotgun from COD 4. You know, the W1200 was worse in Call of Duty 4, especially in terms of consistency. But if you want to talk about the most inconsistent piece of trash, worst shotgun in Call of Duty history, then we gotta start talking to you about the trench gun in World at War. This thing was freaking awful. It had a range of like 5 inches. Like, it was the worst, the most inconsistent shotgun. It was terrible. You could walk up to somebody, point right at their chest, shoot, and you'll still get a hit marker for no real reason at all. The hit detection on it was awful. It had no range whatsoever. It seemed weak as all hell. And here's a fun fact about the trench gun shotgun in Call of Duty World at War. You had the ability to attach 2 attachments to this gun. You could get a foregrip for it, or you could get a bayonet. You best bet that you better go for that bayonet, because the range at which you can bayonet people is further than your effective range while actually using the shotgun itself. The bayonet is more effective on that thing than the actual gun. It's more of a knife weapon than a shotgun, because you're just gonna miss and be so inconsistent with it. The trench gun in World of War was by far, undoubtedly, the worst shotgun. In fact, probably the worst gun overall in Call of Duty history. It is so bad. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, the only FPS game I play is Call of Duty. I've never played Borderlands. I want to know, is it worth it to get? Will it be hard to get into since I'm coming from Call of Duty? And which one do you think I should buy? Ghost619 from California. So this is from COD Ghost619, who has been featured on all them episodes of Chem Strike Saturday. So, you never played Borderlands, but is it worth it to get? I hate when people ask me, like, is it worth money to get something? Like, for me, it's like, dude, like, obviously I think it's worth it for me to buy Borderlands. I bought in Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2 on the console, then I rebought them on the PC, and now I've basically bought Borderlands 1 and 2 twice, and I also bought in the pre-sequel. I'm playing the holy hell out of that. It's the reason I'm waking up so late, so I was up all night playing Borderlands the pre-sequel last night. It's a freaking fun game. But I hate when people ask me, is it worth it to get? Because all I can really say is I really enjoy it, and if you enjoy things that I enjoy usually, then you'll probably enjoy buying it yourself. I always hate, like, the idea, like, this scenario pops in my head where somebody buys something off of something that they thought they would like because I like it, and then that person doesn't like what they got, and then they're disappointed, and they thought they wasted their money and stuff. So it's hard to say whether or not it's worth it for you, but I can tell you from my experience, I really, really enjoy the game. It's just, it's basically an FPS RPG game. Tons of looting, such a ridiculous amount of looting. You can, of course, watch tons of videos if you're wondering about things about Borderlands. You can go over to Nero's Let's Plays to look at stuff about Borderlands 2. There's like 100 episode Let's Play, as well as I have the Headhunter DLCs there, which are a lot shorter videos. If you guys want to check those out, you guys can just see exactly kind of like what the graphics look like, what the gameplay is like, what it's like with the loot system and stuff. And of course, Borderlands pre-sequel, doing a full Let's Play of that over there. And of course, we're going to be doing a bunch of extra guides and stuff like that. I've already done a couple Easter egg guides, showing you guys some really funny, like, pop culture references that are in the pre-sequel, and I've done a bunch of Borderlands stuff on my Let's Play channel. If you want to make an informed decision as to, like, what the gameplay is like and whether or not you might actually enjoy the game series, you can watch videos on my Let's Play channel, make an informed decision from there. Will it be easy to get into since you're going to from Call of Duty? It'll be super easy to get into. It's just a first-person shooter game, but keep in mind that a lot of the weapons don't perform as they quite appear. If you find unique weapons, or if you find legendary weapons and stuff, that, like, when you look at them and you spectate them, it'll show, like, red flavor text. It'll have, like, a random quote. Well, that random quote actually means something. That gun actually performs differently than how it looks. And this text will just mean random stuff, and you probably have to wiki it, to be perfectly honest, to figure out exactly what a gun does, but the guns do perform differently than you would think they would sometimes. It's just a really fun game that I think you would enjoy. Like, coming from Call of Duty, you won't really have too much difficulty picking up. It's just really a first-person shooter game with a lot of loot that you're going to be doing. And if I had to suggest which one for you guys to buy, Borderlands 1, while I really enjoyed the game, while I really thought it was good, Borderlands 2 itself is one of those games where it tells you really all the story from Borderlands 1, and then, of course, it's just infinitely better, I think. Like, I think the mechanics of the game are better. I think the graphics of the game are better. I think the story of the game is better. There's not really too much about Borderlands 1 that's better than Borderlands 2. So if you were to start with the game, Borderlands 2 would be a good choice, although Borderlands the pre-sequel, the brand new game, is already out, and it's basically a pre-sequel, so it's basically set between Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2. So if you want to get that, that would work out as well too. But if you're just getting into the game and you're not entirely positive whether or not you would like the Borderlands series, Borderlands 2 is probably like $10 right now. It's especially if you want to get it on like on your PC, like on Steam. It goes on sale all the time. So Borderlands is probably pretty cheap right now. Like Borderlands 2 is probably really cheap. Borderlands 1 is probably even cheaper than that. So they're both gonna be pretty inexpensive games if you just want to pick one up and try it out and see which one you would like. Keep in mind that Borderlands 2 is much more polished and a lot better put together than Borderlands 1. So I suggest trying out Borderlands 2 if you want to try getting the Borderlands series, because 1, it's a good game, 2, it doesn't cost nearly anything. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, I recently got Black Ops 1 for the PC because it's cheap and a few players actually play it, and I'm trying to get into Call of Duty PC gaming. My question is, have you ever considered getting Call of Duty for PC, or do you just plan on using your PC for Borderlands, World of Warcraft, and other MMO games? Thanks, Johan from Sweden. Or at least I think that's how you pronounce Johan. It's Johan, Johan. I think it's Johan. I have no idea. I hate pronouncing names. Alright, so your question is, have I ever considered getting Call of Duty for the PC? I have Call of Duty 4 and World at War for the PC. I tried playing like the Call of Duty 4 multiplayer. It's just really tough. It's something that I just don't like doing. I don't think I'll ever become like a Call of Duty PC gamer. Just because you're literally relearning everything. You're just relearning something that you've known for 7 years. Like you look at what I can do like on consoles and how everything is just so natural to me on consoles, like with a controller. It's all really hard to remember on the PC. Like it's just hard to get used to everything again. It just doesn't feel the same, no matter how. Even if I were to get used to hitting every key at the exact right time and knowing exactly what I'm doing all the time, it also just comes down to I just don't feel comfortable doing it that way. I much prefer using a controller over like a keyboard and mouse and stuff like that. And like the idea of like getting into PC, like even the most recent Call of Duty game is pretty much dead on PC. Like, there's not, like, a giant community on the PC because the games always get ported over there. And they're usually bad ports if you're Infinity Ward. They're usually pretty decent ports if you're getting a Treyarch game. So, I don't know, man. There's no reason, especially if you already have a console, to get a PC to play Call of Duty. It just doesn't make any sense to me personally, but I'll continue to play Borderlands. I like Borderlands on the PC because it's, it just looks very nice playing it in ultra settings. I'm playing it in the maximum possible settings at 160 frames per second. All right, it's freaking nice. It's very nice to play that way. World of Warcraft is just a fun MMO, like the Elder Scrolls Online. That's just a fun MMO game to play. I like playing games like that where they're like casual or co-op games where you're not really being tested on your skill or anything like that. It's just something you get to go do, get to go have some fun and whatnot. And then if you look at something like, I don't know, like Call of Duty or stuff like that, where you're actually, doing bad is a detriment to your team, and the enemy team is going to do better because you're doing bad and stuff like that. It's like, I'm hurting people by trying to just do this, and it's a pain in the ass. I just don't like the idea of Call of Duty for the PC, personally. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, since Sledgehammer brought back Pipeline from Call of Duty 4, do you think they'll bring back some other maps? And if so, what would you like to see back? Keep up the great work. Ashley from New York. So they're bringing back, of course, they're making Pipeline from Call of Duty 4. They're making that Atlas Gorge, which is going to be the pre-order bonus map for Advanced Warfare, which I'm excited to check out how they did that map, how it's going to work out. What other maps I'd like to see them bring back? And I'm assuming they're only going to bring back, first and foremost, I assume they're going to be bringing back only Infinity Ward maps because Sledgehammer has worked with Infinity Ward before. It's easy to get this kind of licensing stuff done, as well as the fact as they've already brought back Pipeline, which is an Infinity Ward map. So I think they're only going to be bringing back, like, in terms of DLC, like the remake maps we're going to see are probably going to be Infinity Ward based ones. What ones would I like to see? It's really tough, man. It's really tough to pick these because you want to pick ones that you think would work well with the exosuits. You don't want to just pick ones that are like your favorite maps. Like Bog is one of my favorite maps of all time. You guys seen it ranked pretty high on my top 10 maps video. Bog from Call of Duty 4 is just great. But how would that wouldn't work out that great in Advanced Warfare, I don't think, because you wouldn't really be able to you won't be able to utilize at all the exosuits that you have at your disposal. And you think of Bog from Call of Duty 4, it's a very flat map. I mean, there's a bunch of garbage, a bunch of random stuff throughout the place, but there's no verticality whatsoever to that map. Whereas the reason they actually picked Pipeline from Call of Duty 4 was there is a lot of verticality. There are 2 3-story roofs that you can get on, and you don't even need an exosuit to get up there. So how are those buildings going to work with the exosuit? Are you going to be able to jump between building to building with these exosuits? What are you going to be able to do with all the crazy stuff that you're going to be able to do with the exosuit on that map? Because there are a lot of very tall buildings on that map, while at the same time not having a lot of tall buildings. Like, there's 3 giant tall buildings, and those big buildings are really long and stuff like that. So it could work out pretty cool on that map. And what maps do I think would really end up working out well with that? It's really hard to choose. Like I say, it's really hard to pick that kind of stuff. I'm just going to go with the safe picks. Like, what other maps, like Crash from Call of Duty 4 is one of those maps where there are some tall buildings, so maybe the verticality could work in there somehow with the exosuits. That and Crash is just one of the most balanced, most amazing maps in Call of Duty of all time. There's Modern Warfare 2 maps that I would really like to see, but once again, I wonder how they would work out, like the verticality. Like if you think of High Rise, which is a map in Call of Duty that a lot of people loved in Modern Warfare 2, and they've always wanted to see it remade somehow one way or another, but it's never actually been remade. I would like to see High Rise make a comeback eventually somehow, but how, again, would it work out with the new exosuits? How would High Rise end up turning out? I don't know, so I'm just going to say High Rise as a map that I would really like to see come back, but once again, it's like, I don't know how that honestly would end up working out. I really don't know. Of course, I'd like to see some Treyarch stuff come back. I think that would definitely be great. But since we're basically having to stick with Infinity Ward style maps, there's maps like Ambush. Ambush was a really, really fun map. It didn't make it in my top 10 or anything like that, but Ambush was just a really fun map from Call of Duty 4 that I like to play on. There's a lot of maps from Call of Duty 4 that I thought were good, except for a few of them. Block has a lot of cool history. Like I even made a video talking about Block and its tie-ins with Pripyat and how it worked out and how really cool that was. And Block was just an awful map. It should never ever make a comeback ever. It's just one of those maps that's just very, 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 very bad. I didn't like Crossfire personally. It's one of those maps that a lot of people end up liking. And what's the thing about it is Crossfire is one of those maps that's randomly like a big fan favorite. Like everyone likes to see, seems to like Crossfire for some reason. I'm not really sure why. And I picture Crossfire as one of those random maps that actually will, in fact, be brought back into Advanced Warfare. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But those are just some that I would like. Like Ambush, High Rise, of course, from Modern Warfare 2. I think Crash should be a perfect map for the new exosuits and things like that. It's really hard to pick. It's really hard because you look at the maps, you look at like what you like now with your standard Call of Duty where you're running around on the ground all the time, and then you look at, well, how would that map actually work out in Advanced Warfare when people are jumping around all the time and you can double jump and boost dash and all this crazy stuff, right? It's hard to pick. It's really, really hard to pick. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, I love cereal and I eat almost every day. What is your favorite kind of cereal? Patrick from Allentown, Pennsylvania. So Patrick, I would say, this is a tough one, but I would say my favorite would be French Toast Crunch, which I don't, what happened to French Toast Crunch? Why is it nowhere, anywhere anymore? Like, did they cancel that? Did they stop making that particular brand of cereal? They still have Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but French Toast Crunch, which is like a ripoff of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I think, or maybe it was just by the same people, but they wanted to expand on the Toast Crunch franchise, I don't know. But French Toast Crunch was freaking amazing. It was delicious, and I haven't seen it even in stores in like ages. Like, I have no idea where it could be. It's not in any of those local stores around here anymore, and it hasn't been that way for several years. So that's definitely my favorite cereal, but it's like gone. It's like not even here anymore. There used to be a cereal back in the 90s, or maybe it was early 2000s. I can't remember. I was younger. It was The Simpsons. It was like a brand promotion, like Kellogg's Simpsons brand cereal. And it was like, there was two kinds. There was the Homer kind, then there was the Bart kind. I think the Bart kind, it was like this cinnamon kind of flavor thing. I don't know what they did to it, but that was like the most delicious cinnamon flavored cereal ever. Like, it was freaking amazing. Then, of course, like most brand deals, stuff like that, eventually wore off. They stopped making that cereal again. And it's like, why they do this? That was amazing too. So basically, the two cereals I've liked the most over my lifetime are no longer in existence. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, why does nobody ever read the video description? Hunter from California. So Hunter, you're right. Hardly a video goes by where somebody does not ask what my intro song is. Keep in mind, just a quick little thing I want to point out in this video, guys. Is you look at the video description, just open that up down there. Look at all there. Lots of cool links. Links to my Facebook, links to my Twitter, links to the intro song, links to literally everything you would ever want to know about in that video are down in the video description. Always keep that in mind. Good stuff. Next and final question, he's going to write, Dear Nero, how have you met Wildcat and all your other friends on YouTube? Keep up the amazing work, Evan from Colorado. So, Evan, are you talking about all the people I met on YouTube? Well, basically, it sounds weird, but everyone's kind of come to me. So, Mr. Boss for the Win was one of the first, like, YouTube friends I really had. He helped me out with videos. I did videos for him. Like, he actually would, like, go to, like, summer, not summer school, but he would, like, go to these different things during the summer, and he would just give me his channel password, and I would, like, make videos for him on his channel while he was away. And I don't know, Mr. Boss for the Win, he was, like, my first YouTube friend, I would say, and how we became friends with him is he just started like sending me messages on YouTube saying he liked my video and you wanted to do some stuff with him and stuff. And I'm like, okay, sweet. And he had a much bigger channel than me at the time even too, so that was kind of crazy. Yeah, Wildcat. Wildcat was actually a subscriber of mine who joined a lot of my open lobbies, and he was actually very active on Twitter. And he's one of those people that was like in my open lobbies so much, and I always see him talking to me on Twitter and stuff that eventually I just added him to my friends list. And yeah, now me and Wildcat's been friends ever since. Drifter, who I don't really talk about much, but I do still consider Drifter to be a friend. I have him on Skype, and he always seems to answer me whenever I have a question about something like that. Drifter's just a really good guy. He actually came to me via personal message once again. He actually had a fan, like a mutual fan of ours, actually send him a message on YouTube saying that he wants Drifter to do a dual commentary with me. Then Drifter randomly looked at my videos and he's like, okay, sure. And so he sent me a personal message on YouTube here, and he's like, hey, would you like to do a dual com? And we ended up doing a dual commentary back in 2000 and... When did Modern Warfare 3 come out? 11 or 12, I can't remember, but it was back during Modern Warfare 3, so that's when Drifter and I did a dual com. And other than that, like the friends you see in my videos and stuff, I either know all these people in real life or they've been a part of like my team, like Team SB, you know. And Team SB, people always wonder about Team SB. So Team SB is just a group of friends. Like back in 2009-ish, like before Black Ops came out, so it was during Modern Warfare 2, we had like a core group of friends, like there's like 2 or 3 of us, but we wanted a lot of people to play with. We wanted people that we like had like a team where we could always have like a full party in like Domination or Ground War and stuff, that we could just go in there all together, have some fun, and just completely destroy the enemy team while we're at it, right? So we ended up having tryouts for Team SB, right? And we had these tryouts, and mind you, my channel was very, very small at the time. This was like 2009, right? This is on like an old channel of mine, in fact. And so we had these tryouts, and like freaking like 15 people showed up maybe of all the subscribers I had, which once again wasn't a lot. It was like a couple hundred subscribers. 15 people showed up or so, and probably like 7 or 8 of these people they passed the tryouts, you know. And all you really had to do like pass the tryouts was not be like a douchebag and be semi good at Call of Duty, I suppose. And then like all these people like came, and we ended up becoming friends with all these people, and then that made Team SB, like those guys that are like watching my channel a lot during Modern Warfare 3, like we had SB Deadly, and we had Marksman, and we had this is kind of old school, we had Trigger, and we had Tryhard, and we had Voodoo, and we had Russia, and we had Cypher. We had a bunch of people that we always played together. We were all like best internet friends kind of, and we all just kind of played together. But as time kind of went by, all these people started growing up, myself included. Like, fuck, man, I'm 23 years old now. We all kind of started growing up, and you know, a lot of them went off to college. A lot of them are like full-time jobs working now, and so there's basically nobody left. Cypher's really the only person from SB that I still really keep in contact with anymore, and that's very rare, because he's one of those people that, you know, he's out of high school now and he's got a full-time job and he's working, and it's like, damn, man, like, it didn't seem like it would ever happen, but it ended up happening. Like, all those people, like, we spent such countless hours all together playing Call of Duty all the time, like, so much. Like, we, like, full parties in Ground War all day, every day, like, just always playing, always having fun, until eventually all these people end up growing up, and when they have to move on with their lives aside from gaming. Fortunately, I was never one of those people that had to move away from gaming, because gaming is my career, I suppose, but everyone else, they had to move on. They had to go do some other stuff. They went to school, they got jobs, they started families, whatever. It's like, shit, I'm literally the last one. It started with me, and I guess it also ended with me about 5 years later. And it's like, shit, that just feels weird. And before you guys ask, I know a lot of you guys are going to, they're like, why don't you do another tryout and have more friends so you can just redo what you did back in 2009? But you guys don't realize my channel's a lot bigger than it was then. It's not going to be 15 people showing up. It's going to be like 1,500 people showing up if I wanted to do tryouts for like SP that like get on my friends list and always play with us and stuff like that. And it's like, it just seems like a lot of pain. So I don't think there's ever going to be tryouts for SB. I'm probably always going to have SB in my name just for tradition's sake. But the people I play with now are like Toucan, which I guess Toucan's still technically part of that original SB, although he basically quit playing Call of Duty many, many years ago. He always plays other stuff though, like Borderlands and stuff. So it's Toucan and like my brother and like Alan and Zach and Foxhound, and like that's like the new group, I suppose. And they're all basically people I know in real life aside from Foxhound and Toucan. So I don't know, I feel like I rambled on with that question for a very long time, but yeah, that's how I met every single person that, like, you see me do anything with on YouTube. Like, Mr. Boss, he liked my channel, started sending me messages. Wildcat liked my videos, he was a subscriber, and he joined a lot of my open lobbies. Drifter got a message from a mutual fan saying that we should do a dual com, so he messaged me asking if I want to do a dual com with him. And all the other people were actually originally fans of mine as well. Like, just about everybody. Like, you see, like, all the old SB people that you would see, like, during Modern Warfare 3 and stuff, those were all just, they were originally just subscribers of mine. That Vicious, I don't know if I mentioned Vicious randomly came to mind right there. They were all originally subscribers of mine that came to the tryouts or whatever, and, you know, they turned out they were cool people, and we ended up playing together for, you know, 4 years or so. So that's how it worked. I never actually ended up going to anybody, I suppose, which is kind of weird. But that is this week's episode of Dear Nero. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. And if you did, please be sure to leave a rating where you guys feel the video deserves. And if you guys would like to send your guys' questions in for next week's episode of Dear Nero, this is how you do it. You send me a personal message here on YouTube. You have to be at your computer, because apparently it doesn't work on mobile devices. I have no idea why. But you go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/NerosCinema. You go to the About section. And then once you're there, there will be a send message button. And then you send a message there. It's easiest if you type in Dear Nero as like the first part of your question. Like, type in Dear Nero dash, then put your question or something like that. That way, when I'm sorting through all my messages, I can find the ones easily. I can easily identify, you know, the ones that are for Dear Nero and the ones that are for other stuff. So do it that way. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. And if you did, please be sure to leave a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.